I moved into the apartment just before Thanksgiving. It was my first place alone. No roommates, no parents, just me and the third floor walk up at the edge of town. It was a little old, a little musty, and the layout didn't make much sense, but it was mine. I even liked how quiet it was, at first. The weird stuff started on the second night. I was brushing my teeth when I heard this tapping. Soft, rhythmic. Tap, tap, tap. I shut the water off to listen. It was coming from the bathroom vent, just above the mirror. I stared at it for a while, toothbrush still in my mouth. It stopped. Nothing moved. I figured it was an animal or something in the ducts. Old building, probably normal. Still, it creeped me out a little. I left the bathroom light on that night. I'm not sure why, just felt better that way. The next night, it was louder. Same place. Tap, tap, tap. More frantic this time. It stopped again soon as I looked at it. I climbed up on the toilet with a flashlight to peek through the slats, but all I saw was black. That was the first night I couldn't sleep. 3 days later, I woke up and my kitchen light was on. I always turn off every light before bed. It's a habit from trying to save power. But there it was, glowing in the dark, like it had been on all night. I checked the door, still locked. Checked the windows, closed tight, but I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had been inside. Like the air felt used. That morning, I bought one of those cheap little indoor cameras and pointed it at the hallway. I also got a door jamb. It made me feel a little better, like I had some sort of control. That night, the tapping came back, but this time it wasn't in the bathroom. It was in my bedroom. I was lying in bed, phone in hand, when I heard it. Soft at first, then faster. It didn't sound like tapping anymore. It sounded like crawling. I turned to look at the vent on the wall near the ceiling, and the sound stopped. And then I heard something I still can't explain without getting chills. A whisper. Low, male, and right behind the vent. I couldn't make out the words, just the tone. Like someone was talking to me. I froze. I don't know how long I stayed like that, just listening, heart pounding out of my chest. Eventually, I grabbed my keys and ran to my car barefoot. I slept in the back seat and parked across the street, watching my apartment window. The next morning, I told the landlord everything. The tapping, the whisper, the smell, and the light. He laughed. "That building is old as hell," he said. "You'd be shocked what ends up in the vents. Rats, raccoons, pigeons. I even had a guy find a possum once." He agreed to send maintenance to check it out, but never did. That night, I finally checked the hallway camera. At 3:12 a.m., my door opened. Let me say that again. My locked door opened. Slowly, quietly, and someone walked inside. A tall, skinny man, wearing dark clothes, gloves. He didn't even look around. He just stood there for a while, like he was listening. Then, this is what made me scream. He turned and looked straight at the camera, like he knew it was there. I called the police, and they came and took a report. I checked the locks, no signs of forced entry. They told me maybe someone had a key copy. The landlord swore up and down no one else had one. I changed the locks that day and added a second camera. I barely slept though. For a few nights, it was quiet again, and then the smell started. It came from the bathroom first. Faint, but it got stronger. Sour like rotting meat and mildew. I begged maintenance to come check the vents. They said they were short-staffed and never came out. So I did it myself. I stood on a chair, flashlight in hand, screwdriver in the other. As soon as I cracked open the vent, the smell hit me hard. I thought maybe something had died in there. I leaned closer to shine the light inside. Something caught the light. Fabric. I reached in with salad tongs and pulled out what looked like a torn glove. Black, stiff, and stained with something dark. My stomach dropped. Then I saw something move. Not scurry, not flutter, but shift entirely. I leaned in closer, heart racing, and then I saw it. An eye, wide open, staring at me from the dark. I dropped the flashlight and screamed so loud my throat burned. I ran out of that apartment and didn't stop running until I was in the parking lot. I called 911. The cops came with backup this time. They searched the vents. What they found still keeps me up at night. Someone had been living in the vent system. A sleeping bag, food wrappers, a little flashlight, cans, and even Polaroid photos of me sleeping. They pulled the man out of the wall. Pale, thin, and filthy, he didn't fight, didn't speak, just stared at us like we were the ones invading his home. They think he came in through the maintenance hatch in the basement and found a way into the walls. He'd been crawling around at night and slipping into my apartment through the vent openings or unlocked ceiling panels, watching me sleep, whispering to me. They think he had been doing it for weeks. Enough to say, I moved out that day, left the bed, the furniture, everything. I couldn't even sell it. I didn't want to touch anything that man might have touched. I left the cameras behind too. I didn't know what else they might have caught. Even now, years later, I sleep with a fan on and can't stand the silence. Because sometimes in a quiet room, when the air conditioner kicks on or the pipes shift just right, I swear I can still hear it. The knocking, the tapping. They say your home is supposed to be the safest place. But what if somebody's already inside, watching, waiting? Sometimes it's not the ghosts or the shadows we should be afraid of. It's the things we can't see, the things that move when we sleep, things that live in our walls. If you've made it this far, double check your vents tonight. And if you hear tapping, don't look away. What would you do if you found somebody living in your home without you knowing? Until next time, this is the Dead Archives. Sleep tight.